we'll find ourselves doing the same things again and again. Understanding why we do what we do, learning to dig a little deeper, is paramount to changing our behavior. There's no way around it. In my work as a licensed professional counselor, working with thousands of clients in my years of practice, it has become overwhelmingly clear that the people who end up having the most success in their attempts to change and grow are the ones who have an awareness of what's going on deep down inside underneath the surface. When we can understand why we do what we do, we can finally begin to break free of patterns, habits, and behaviors that have been holding us back. We all have old patterns that we can find ourselves returning to. Why we do it. When I was in college, I owned a lemon of a car. It was a dark green Volkswagen Jetta, and I loved it so much I even named it. And no, I'm not telling you the name because it's dorky enough to name a car, much less speak aloud its name. But the funkiest things would happen as I was driving this car. The turn signals would switch on suddenly, or the windshield wipers would start wiping, or the emergency lights would start blinking. It was quite a doozy. One freezing cold December morning, I was in a rush to get to finals. I had hit the snooze button one too many times and was a little late getting ready that morning. I ran down the stairs and out of the building to the parking lot, pulled out my car key, and frantically put it into the door lock. As I turned the key, the windows of my car suddenly rolled down and the car alarm started blaring loudly. To make matters worse, when I pulled the keys out of the lock, the entire lock cylinder came out of the car door and was stuck to my key. Now you know how serious I was when I said I owned a lemon of a car. There I was, in the middle of a freezing cold parking lot, trying to get the lock cylinder off my key so I could start the car and drive to my final exams. Needless to say, I ended up driving to my finals that morning in 16-degree weather with all 4 windows rolled down and my car alarm blaring the whole way there. This whole situation was a hot, actually freezing cold mess. But here's the thing about my lemon of a car. I was smart enough to know that duct taping the windows, supergluing the windshield wipers, and muffling the car alarm wouldn't be the ultimate fix my car needed. Superficially changing those external issues wouldn't get to the root of the problem. I had to figure out what was going on underneath the surface if I actually wanted to turn my lemon into lemonade. After having had enough of these funky incidents, I ended up taking my car to the shop. Turns out, my car wasn't born a lemon. Some crossed electrical wires were causing all of the mishaps. You see, a few months before that, I'd asked a friend of mine to install a new stereo system for me, and it turned out he didn't really know what he was doing. He crossed some wires in the process, which eventually led to all the crazy malfunctions. I don't know about you, but I can relate to some of that in my own life. Have you ever just tried and tried and tried to change, to do something different, to get something right, to do something better, and you just couldn't seem to do it? After a while, you start to think you're the problem. You're the lemon. You start wondering if there is something seriously wrong with you. Why can't you just do this one thing? Why do you feel so stuck? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe underneath the surface, we'll find that there are some wires crossed. I don't mean literal wires or brain chemistry or anything like that. What I mean is this. Somewhere along the way, what you believe got misconstrued, and what you feel got misunderstood, and what you did became misdirected. And that, my friends, makes all the difference. Thoughts to feelings to behaviors. Most people go about their lives unaware of this life-changing truth. Thoughts lead to feelings, and feelings lead to behaviors. That's what's going on underneath the surface in a split second, often before you're even aware of it. This is why trying to change your life starting with external behaviors alone will usually lead you to a dead end, because you're actually starting at the end. It's trying to set boundaries without getting to the root of why you tend to say yes to everything.